Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
I just need to say my intro. Can you shut that one? I've been practicing.
Best face ever.
I've been practicing this thing like 20 times.
Drugs are wearing off. Can we hurry?
Ready? No, I'm not ready. Okay, ready, set, go.
Oh, okay.
Wait, don't be heavy breathing into the mic while he's trying to do the intro.
Just trying to make it through the intro.
So how did it go right before the intro? Well, Alicia's getting a little crazy.
Okay. Welcome back to Real Estate on the Rocks. Top shelf conversations served up straight up, never watered down. I'm your host today, Marshall Tucker, with Alicia Taco Hooper.
Whoop, whoop.
And James Mendez.
What's going on?
Dave Snowberger is still out of town on business.
Oh, snow.
What do you think he's really doing?
I feel
Stopping
like
at Buc-ee's?
well, that's a given. Yeah.
Probably talking Melanie into an early grave. I told her to set a little audio recording and just go to sleep. She's like, he'll kill me if I do that. I was like, you're
Every once in
technically
a while it
recording
plays.
all the...
Yes, sir. That's correct. Yes.
He just needs to have everything just recorded from his brain, and you need to get some sleep. That's a good deal.
And Melanie is Dave's
Director of Operations.
director of operations. She's badass.
All right, guys. Today's topic is we have no topic.
Yay!
Freestyle.
Freestyle.
My
Oh,
favorite.
free.
Wicka, wicka.
We could talk about money a little bit.
Oh yeah, let's talk about money.
Look at that.
Okay.
We got a topic.
What's the average income for an agent? Since we love money.
Isn't it $12,000?
Something horrific.
No, it's like 20,000 or something. That's a great stat. We need to know. What is a?
Well, it was
Google say?
What does the Google machine say?
The national sales per agent a year is about what, 7?
No, that's
Less
way
than that?
high. It's like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Well, and because when were we talking? I think we might have covered that in an older podcast. I think the reason
Let's
they're
benefit
saying
of the doubt. Say that it's 3. Say that after their commissions,
Because
split,
there's
they
a
make
lot of
about
part-time agents.
5,000 on each deal, so they make about 15 grand, and then minus the 2,000 in MLS dues, the 1,200 they'll have in the office, dues, just subtract, for signs, subtract for this, subtract for that, and by the end of it, they might have a buck.
Yeah. So if
Or owe a dollar.
if you got into real estate to make money, you are mistaken. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, unlimited income potential or a flexible work schedule. You can't have both starting off.
That's right. You got to work towards it. Unless you just have a wonderful setup, whether you're thrown into a team that just has lead overflow or you have a wonderful sphere that's supporting you. I mean, that's not the same for everybody. But for the most part, you definitely have to work up to that income.
Well, let's say you have money coming in now.
Yeah.
How do you deposit your checks? Do you break them down enough for the tax man and for personal, for business, or you just kind of have it all in the same account?
I have it all in the same account, and I just go from there. I don't do it as I should.
Because I'm just a business machine. There's no
Yeah.
personal here. I write everything off.
Make it rain.
Flick's Brew House, that was a client. McDonald's dinner, that was a client.
Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna get me.
No, one of my 2019 goals is to implement QuickBooks. I have it on my other business, and why I have not incorporated that into my real estate business, I'm not sure. But
I think this year I'm definitely going to have to talk to some kind of tax specialist.
Nice.
My wife now is starting her eBay store up, so
yay.
with all her little receipts and business expenses with mine, she's like, there's no way I can do it this year.
yeah.
And I'm not even sure if she's been doing it right. So
Is your wife listening?
no, I don't think she'll listen to this. I think we're
hide
safe
this
here.
episode.
This is
Okay,
safe.
safe zone. Gotcha.
Do not
But
forward.
I kind of got in trouble last year doing the same thing that you were doing, just putting all my money in one account basically and just living life. And then by the end of the year, I was like, I'm rich.
Yep.
And then tax man stuck his hand out, shook me around a little bit, and left me with $1. So
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely learned my lesson. Like I said, this year I am incorporating QuickBooks, and also with every commission that I receive, 30% will be set aside for taxes.
do you log your miles as well? Do you have a mile log?
I do not, I guess.
What?
Like mile IQ?
Is that okay?
Oh my
That's
god.
a big,
No.
yeah, that's a deduction.
I love the fact that I'm the
No, I
newest
said
person.
guessing. Is that okay? He's
Oh.
freaking out.
I love the fact that I'm the newest person in this industry, and like hearing this conversation is like making me want to leave.
Hey, you
That's
got to.
literally
This is
not
why
how
it's
this
important
works.
to start right,
Yes.
guy? So if you go ahead.
So I was I wrote it down and I gave it to Dave because we were having a conversation about, well, one of the many brainstorm kind of conversations was about business financing or finances, and how most people hear that you are a business in yourself.
That's right.
So you need to treat it as if it's a business. And so that kind of later on parlayed into another conversation about people trying to say like, oh, I'm a business and I'm a business inside your business if you're on a team or whatever. But people don't actually, they like the title. They like the, just like people put entrepreneur on their, LinkedIn and on their Instagram and Facebook. And it's like, you're not an entrepreneur. You barely function as a person. And so it's like keeping things in perspective. Yeah, you may say that you're a business and technically you should operate as that, but you're not actually operating as a business, which is horrible because you pay significantly more in taxes. Like, do either one of you have a DBA?
Doing business as Marshall Tucker.
Like, are you set up like that? Do you have a business account?
I operate under Dave's, so.
Yeah. So what you even underneath a team, this is what the experts are saying. Talk to your CPA when none of us are licensed or can give legal advice.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, we're not professionals here in that field.
No one's a
That's
professional.
right.
Talk to people who actually know what they're talking about and are licensed to give like quality advice. This is what they were saying, and you can use this. A lot of your grandparents used to do a similar thing as far as putting things in buckets or envelopes. Right, it's a very simple concept.
Dave Ramsey, the envelope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Financial Peace University. I'll throw a little plug for them. Go to it. Live a majority of that lifestyle if you can. We'll kind of come back to that one. I'd like is you should not be paid as yourself because you will pay the highest amount of taxes. So all your checks should go to your business name. So preferably not your name as the business name. Come up with a fancy little name, not Company One or some stupid little thing.
Well, and to touch on that, so in order for you as an agent to get paid to a business, you have to have your broker's license. So you're going to have to work with your CPA because the check from your broker will have to be cut to you, and then it could immediately go into your business account. However, the actual check is going to be written to you as an individual until you have your broker's license.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was actually a topic that just got covered in our sales meeting,
That's right.
which was super informative, and I think a vast majority of the people let that completely fly over their head.
And I depend on the new guy to come back in and fill me in on what was said.
It was actually a really good meeting, yeah.
Because I was in there calling.
Yeah, and
Nice.
coming back from a listing appointment or buyer presentation, buyer appointment, right? Buyer.
Consult.
Consult. Yeah. See, I don't even know the terminology. That's why I'm the new guy.
New guy.
And then, but put your money into different piles, or you can set up sub accounts by your in your bank account.
Absolutely.
So you have a tax account. Most people recommend 40%. You can do 30. I recommend 40. And then have money that you're investing back in your business.
So marketing and
Yep.
all that. Is that what you're talking
And so, yes. So if you're solo, that should be a majority of your income. Is your majority of your money should go back into your business outside of living expenses. And then you also have stuff for your investment because you're 1099. You need to have a plan for retirement. So, and there's a ton of different ones. Talk to a financial professional. Your risk tolerance and a ton of different factors go into that. Life insurance, which is very important to have. And don't, oh my God, one of the ones I hate the most is the buy term, invest the difference. And you're like, all right, that's a great idea. Are you investing the difference between term and whole life? And they're like, well, no. I'm like, what that argument is not valid if you're not doing the other half of it. But there's some great options for people. So your taxes, your business account. So you'll do marketing and any kind of your database, any kind of extra stuff that you're going to bring in to reinvest is definitely a big portion of that. Your retirement accounts, and then for growth, anything you're trying to do outside of that and push to like rental properties or different kind of pieces like that. And then your living expenses should be cut down to a minimum. So live on only what you absolutely have. Don't try and live. Gary Vee pounds on this all the time, and I've heard some other people talk about it. Stop trying to live fancy. Stop trying to have,
live below your means, right?
Yeah, the Rolex, the fancy car, and all this other stuff. You're only buying
Live the life that other people won't live today so that you can live the life that people can't live later.
Dave
or
Ramsey.
somewhere,
Man, you all about those
somewhere in
quotes. I
there. I
like
chopped
it.
that up a little
Yeah,
bit.
that,
like it.
that is not a verbatim Dave Ramsey.
That's
that's
a
it.
Marshall quote.
That's
Yeah.
an interesting, like, ping, like a squirrel moment. So I was in a class at the beginning of my real estate career where they were asking, it was a luxury class, luxury marketing class, and they were asking, how important is it to have a fancy car versus, you know, one that you have already? And the class was pretty much divided because they had different scenarios where they went on a listing appointment to a luxury seller and they appreciated that they were saving money because
And a Toyota.
of their type of vehicle, you know. And then on the other hand, they're like, oh no, because my clients get in my vehicles, you know, I want the higher end and all that kind of stuff.
Show up in a G-Wagon.
Right. So just touching on that, like I said, squirrel moment, you know, you don't always have to, in the beginning, you don't always have to invest to feel like you have to set yourself apart.
Yeah. It's the,
There are ways to operate this business free, right? So what does that look like?
low cost.
Low cost free. Yeah.
10 speed to the house for the showing. Ding, 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 ding.
I mean, you can.
have a bike chain?
Yeah, leveraging things out is significantly more beneficial to you. Mm-hmm. Plan on your money running out in half the time you're expecting it to run out,
Absolutely.
even when you're saving. So you should, like car payments, you should probably minimize as much as possible. You don't need you're not even showing enough properties to be riding around in a G-Wagon or in the latest vehicle. And 90% of the people you show properties to or with are driving their own vehicles now.
That's right.
I've never, no, I mean, not that I have room. I have my old truck because I turned in my SUV before I joined real estate. I probably should have kept it,
I
but
still prefer clients to jump in my car. It's just easier than trying to caravan around, and then you can build that rapport with them, find out what it is that, you know, how they're feeling. Are they digging the houses we're looking at? Are they not liking it? Do they not like me? Do they like me? You know, all those kind of things you can find out a little bit better when they're riding with you versus opening the door for them. They run, they get in their car, you get in your car, and you drive to the next house wondering, well, how did that go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, I love that because if you talk to 5 different agents, you're going to get 5 different answers
Yeah.
on how to run your business, and you just have to find what works for you. So
I keep the drinks in the back.
there you go. To
know.
flip
I
that,
really
I don't
like
like
that.
I don't like people in my vehicle. I'm a single female, so I don't feel comfortable with that. Number one. Number two, it gives them the opportunity to have a true conversation about the house that they just saw. So when we are leaving that house and heading to the next one, I'm gonna say, okay, y'all talk it over, and we'll talk at the next one. They're gonna be more open with just the two of them than if I were in the car, because for whatever reason, they still associate me with that house,
Well,
even though
10
I don't.
minutes of being in the car with me, and then there's no hold bars. You'll talk about whatever. So,
Which I
gotta
support.
build
And
the
like,
rapport.
I mean, that's the way you run your business, and it's perfectly correct. And that's the way I run my business, and it's perfectly correct.
I've just
It's
been in the car before, and they're following me, and they're driving slow, and the light's green, and I'm going, and I'm slowing down so they can catch up, and then they're taking a right for no reason. And it's like, where are they going?
GPS, man.
And then you get to the house, and you're waiting. It's like, well, are they coming still? Did they take off? Did they? What's going on here? I like to keep them where I can get them and lock the doors.
Now, if they're coming from
like
out of
it.
town, that's a different story. I'm
Child
going to pick
lock.
them up, and you know, that's a different story. But
Yeah.
for the most part, they're in their own vehicle for me.
I mean, not that I have to ever worry about really being attacked or any kind of confrontation.
You do.
We talked about
I mean,
your smile last
That's
time.
right.
I know.
Look at that smile.
It's a
My
charm.
goodness.
See, I win them over. I've actually been fortunate. Like, I don't have the people. Maybe I don't know if it's just me, but people aren't very confrontational with me very often, and so in houses and stuff. Although I'm always very, very aware of where I am and how I'm presenting myself and like the positions of the house that I'm in. I tend not to have to worry as much as like a female would have to worry about stuff like being the first into a bedroom or
One
into the
tip
bathroom.
Also that I have is I have, of course, a camera for my car. But when I park up to meet new people, I'll usually pull up and then have them, their car on the other side. So when I walk around my car, we're both caught on the camera, talking, shaking hands, or whatever, and then we
That's
go
a good
into
idea.
the house.
I like that.
So it kind of keeps a log of where I've been,
Yeah.
and then, like I said, I can position it to where I can capture on camera our interaction.
Ooh, I like that.
I like the
That's good.
idea, and one of the reasons my next vehicle would be an SUV is because I like that idea of having everybody in the vehicle, drive around, we can chat and you definitely build more rapport with them, and you get to better understand them. But because of my vehicle, I just went with having conversations outside of the vehicle. While we're at the house, hey, what do you like about this? How is this in line with what you're wanting, and just kind of feeling everybody out through there, as opposed to having that full long conversation. But it
Right.
seems like a lot of people enjoy driving. They're coming from their busy life and they'll trek around and follow you. Although I don't wait for people. I just put it in the map and then just drive and they'll catch up.
But
it-
I have a lot of out-of-state clients too. They just have no idea how to
Right.
get
Oh, yeah.
around.
That's a different story for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
jump on
And
it.
I mean, to touch back on money and how to save money, that's an opportunity for you to save money. You just jump in their car. Just kidding.
I've had that happen before.
definitely
They're
would
like,
not.
Marshall, get in. We're gonna drive. It's like, okay, cool. I'm backseat driving. Take it right here.
Right.
Yeah. Be very, very. I'm always looking out for everybody's safety. Be super, super careful with that. They
Oh,
actually
that was a
have-
joke.
Some people do.
No,
Some
for me,
people
it's not
jump in.
because they have
He
dogs
would do that.
usually, and I don't prefer the dogs to be in my car. And a lot of times they'll say, "Jump in with us." And I'll jump in with them, or I'll follow them if I need to break off and go somewhere else. you
Yeah.
know. It just depends on where we're at, the route that we got to travel, and how many times I've actually spoke with them.
I'm going to encourage them to leave their fur babies at home.
If it's a Craigslist call, maybe not.
Yeah.
No, they actually have. Speaking of safety, real quick segue and steal your topic. They have some an app with NAR for
NAR.
NAR.
It's not NAR.
NAR.
No.
It's NAR has an app. I can't think of what it's called.
Where you hold your finger
put it in
down
the
on
sh-
it. and
I'll
if
put
your
it in the
finger
show notes.
Comes off of it, then it calls the cops.
No,
I always
that
wonder,
is
like,
an
what if I
interesting one.
sneeze? Like, are the cops gonna come?
No, there's oh my god, I'd be dying. What happened? I sneezed.
I like where the button.
so funny.
Then my phone froze. The cops came.
Yeah, and get tackled and,
And
stuff.
then he wanted to buy a house. It was fantastic.
Yeah, right. That'll happen.
The secure house. He loved it.
But this one, no, they'll send them out a link, your client a link, and then they can fill out, with the fill out their personal information, photo ID, and stuff like that, and it'll show,
Oh, I like
kind of
that.
vet them.
I don't know about this.
I've literally told you guys this multiple times.
New guy, we don't listen to you.
Oh my god. And they wonder why I worry about them running around being.
Our brain only
superheroes.
holds so much knowledge, and it's for our clients. No, but that's good for real. I would like to learn more about that once you find it.
I'll put it in the show notes so you can look that up.
Can you text it?
It'll
to
be
us?
clickable link. No,
Whatever.
you need to check in my show notes. Clickable links. All right, back to finances.
Well, what about them?
Make that money, honey,
That's right. You got to grind and shine.
and manage it well.
Yeah, I think living in the dirt and being less fancy is super important. That's the crazy thing. Everyone's like, buy cards and buy this and buy that. Actually, I've had several people recently say, especially to new agents, like, oh, do I need to get a card and do this? What should it say? They're like, don't buy a card. Actually, when I run out, I think I'm going to wait. Well, actually, I think I might be forced
Business
to get
cards?
Yeah.
I think business
I
cards
think-
are important. However, if you don't have the funds right now, one way that you can do it is design it and put it on your app, on your phone, and save it as a photo.
I like that you did that.
$40 will get you 1,000 cards.
I understand. Hold on. So that
Don't do
way,
it.
when this is also a great way to get their information. So if you're out and about and they're like, "Hey, do you have a card?" And be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I try to keep everything digital, and I can send it to you. What's your number?" And they'll give you their information. And you can send the card.
That's
And then now you have their information for a follow up, etc.
Yep.
That works for me all the time.
I've given a couple hundred cards away, and I've gotten a fraction of those calls back.
My favorite thing to give my cards away for are like drawings, and that's pretty much it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously, like at big events, if it's like a major networking, that's a different story.
I get 100% of those calls back. When they're trying to sell me, I get all of those
Yeah, for
calls.
sure. Yeah. But yeah, to a degree, they have their place, just like
Right.
anything.
What about clothing? Suits? Stuff
I like
that?
your brand.
Yeah, I usually wear branded, polos and branded jackets and such like that. But I think you should have a good suit for special occasions.
Absolutely.
I don't think you have to wear a suit every single day, as long as you dress pretty much business casual. Mm-hmm. I was just reading Mark Cuban the other day was saying that you should never wear a suit unless it's a wedding or a funeral. So,
Well, when
But
you're
he's also
making
a billionaire,
yeah,
so.
when you're worth a couple $1 billion, you can
Say
that.
what you want.
Yeah,
Dress as you want.
When you run a company that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars or producing hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue, you can wear whatever you want.
Right.
Like,
You just have to remember that
Mark
you
Cuban
never.
showed up in shorts again.
I mean, you only get one opportunity for a first impression, right? So, Paul Campanero, he's one of our team leaders here at the Keller Williams Austin Northwest Market Center. Woo woo. And he said that he always dresses up because he never knows when he's going to run into that $1 million buyer or $1 million seller, right? And you always want to dress the part, so to speak. So whatever you are wanting to attract is how you need to present yourself.
Yeah, dress comfortable, dress as professional as you can. Don't run out. There's actually several suit companies that you can find them on Facebook and Instagram and places. I'm not going to shout anyone's brands out, but you can get them for like $39. And so they're not going to fit you. They're not going to be completely tailored in. So you put it on, it's rough measurements. You take it to a tailor, they'll tailor it in for you. And then you have a suit for less than $200. Yeah. Well, I mean, but you have a good suit you can keep with you, put it in your car in like a little bag or something with shoes and everything. And you can dress, business casual or something kind of regular during the day.
A good sports coat can go a long way.
100%.
With a lot of
you need
different outfits.
a couple of staples that you don't have to buy right away. Buy that stuff. You're going to get a few leases. You might get one or two clients looking kind of a little raggedy, as you're starting out. And you'll get those done and then make a couple purchases. Don't skimp out on shoes. Get good shoes and just get a couple staples and
You
set
guys a
those
shoe
up.
guy.
I love shoes. Well, but you're on your feet all day.
Yeah.
So you need good quality shoes. You don't want them falling apart on you or like the little pleather
Dude,
flaking
these
on you.
flip-flops are durable.
Yeah. Right. But also dress to your market. So it's a little more casual here. Like downtown New York or in some places like in California, in certain places, you're not going to run around in, just jeans and a t-shirt.
Right, I got
just
boots
not gonna
on,
happen.
so it's fairly common around here. But
Yeah.
when we take our trips to California, we're usually one of the only ones wearing cowboy boots.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
like, you from Texas?
Nah.
Nah, y'all.
Oh.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're wrapping up this episode. You got any more to say?
Like I said, just make that money, honey, and make sure you manage it well.
Yep. Spend it wisely, save it wisely, and make lots of it.
Talk to a CPA, talk to a professional, kind of get
Yes.
some groundwork. You can talk to them and have a rough plan dialed in, or, go over a rough plan and some tips and tricks for free. A lot of them will give you information to kind of get you started in the expectation that as they provide good quality information to you, that when you get enough income and as you grow, that you'll continue to go with the person that's providing you great value, which is with any business. Like we do the same thing. We could provide a lot of value, hoping that it'll attract us business. So the people will reach out to you. Some people will come and buy lunches like one of the finance guys did for our market center today for lunch.
That's right.
So pick their brain, be informed.
Well, that wraps it up for today. I want to throw a shout out to our sponsor, Mike Carroll with Guild Mortgage. We truly appreciate you and everything you make possible for our show. We'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
I'm out.